seeing in detail. The first topic is your telegraph communication system. Okay, so this telegraph communication system is obtained from the Greek word. Tele means far off and graphing means writing. Okay, and the telegraph is an instrument that transmits the writing to a distinct place. So in earlier we were before the inventions of telephones and all, we used to just send telegrams to the places for easier communication, and this happened by the Greek persons. Okay, and telegraph is an instrument that transmits the writings to a distant places. Here, how this operation is taking place is by means of the Morse code. Okay, a telegraph is a communication system in which printed information is transmitted over a wire wave or radio wave through a series of electrical current pulses, usually in the form of Morse code. Okay, the basic components included a source of direct current, a length of wire or cable, and a current indicating devices such as relay, buzzers, or light bulb. So every alphabet and every numericals and every punctuation marks, whatever we are using, it is represented by dots and dashes. So that is your Morse code. Okay, so Morse code is a method of transmitting the signs by means of a series of dots and dashes. So each alphabet, either it may be uppercase alphabet or either it may be a lowercase alphabet, the code remains the same. Okay, so each numerals, punctuations, or an alphabet is represented by means of sequences of dots and dashes. So this is the dots and dashes which are used for various alphabets, punctuation marks, and so on. So the dot dashes are representing the significance for each and every alphabet. How is the working taking place? Usually we will be having a transmitting section and a receiving section in a communication system. Okay, here the telegraph is of a transmission of coded information by means of wired and wireless. Here what we are going to do is the alphabet, whatever we are giving, will be sent by means of the electrical signals, and that electrical signals will be converted in terms of alphabets, and then it will be passed to the receiver section in order to get your message signal back. Okay, the telegraph signal is given as the input. That keyboard, whatever letters or whatever numbers we are typing, that will be given as the input, and therefore in order to convert the signal to a high frequency signal, we are using a oscillator. So here the carrier signal is given by means of the oscillator. So those two signals are getting combined in the modulator, and then it is being sent to your transmitter amplifier, and this is taking place in your transmitting section. And in the receiving section, what happens is the high frequency signals, again it has to be converted to the original signal back, and therefore we are using a demodulator, and then the amplified signal, whatever is being received from the transmitting section, will be received in the receiving amplifier, and that will be given to your demodulator, and therefore it demodulates the signal and it gives the telegraph signals as the output. Understanding? The telegraph signal is given as the input, and that signal is combined with the oscillator, and those signals are getting mixed up in the modulator, and it will be transmitting a signal which is being given to your transmitting section. In the receiving section, what happens is the signal whichever is being transmitted, that will be received through the receiving antenna, and we will be having a receiving amplifier for amplifying the signals. That amplified signal will be given to the demodulator, and the oscillator will give you the carrier signal. So these two signals again gets combined in your demodulator, and we will be retrieving the message signal back. Okay, so how is this working take place is nothing but at the transmitter side, when the key is pressed, the telegraph signal is passed by means of the electrical signals, and it has been given to the modulator, and this modulator will be modulating the transmitted signal and the high frequency signal from the oscillator, and both the signals are getting combined, and that is being passed to your transmitter amplifier, and that will be radiating your transmitting signals. And the high frequency signals is from the oscillator is treated as a radio carrier signal. By changing the amplitude, frequency, or phase in accordance with the message signal depending on the Morse code, we will be getting the signal back. Okay, next one is your telephone communication system. So what is happening in your telephone communication system is same like you will be having a transmitting section and a receiving section. It is again by means of your in your telephone graphic system. What happens is the signals are being converted by means of the Morse code. Here the voice signal we are considering. Okay, so the definition is nothing but it is also obtained from the Greek word telephone. So the telephone means you know already what is the tele means far off or afar. Phone means a sound voice which is sound or voice which is being produced. So the telephone is an instrument that transmits sound voice to a distant places. The growth of an idea, how it initiated is before the invention of telephone, what happens earlier we were using telegraphs for communication. That is for long-term communication we were using telegraphs. So how is the signal taking place? The voice signal is being transmitted to your telephone line. So that voice signal is converted to the electrical signal by means of the telephone line. So here you have to remember the basic block diagram of your communication system. Okay. So by means of the basic block diagram only we are doing this. So here that the telephone line will be converting the voice signal in terms of the electrical signal, and then it will be received to the receiver end. Okay, again from the receiver end, if suppose it is your telephone communication is nothing but a two-way communication, which is also called as a full duplex analog communication. What is your full duplex analog communication is nothing but simultaneously a person can hear and also can communicate. Okay, so that is your full duplex analog communication. So the telephone system was designed for full duplex analog communication of voice signal. So this system is primarily we are using the voice signals, and that voice signals will be converted in terms of a digital technique, and then it will be transmitted by means of the control operation. So here the voice signal, whatever we are giving or whatever we are talking will be transmitted to the telephone lines by means of a cables. Okay, so that telephone lines will be that signal will be sent as an electrical signal, and that is passed to your acoustic energy signal. That is, it will be audible for the other side person to hear. And then from that end, we are having a transmitter section which is taking place, and whatever the other person is speaking, again the same process will be continued in your telephone system. It is a two-way communication system. So what is your two-way communication system? It is nothing but simultaneously a person can communicate and also can listen. It is called as a two-way communication system. Okay, here we are having a transmitter section, receiver section, ringer and switch hook. These are the main components of your telephone system. So what is your transmitter section? Your transmitter section is nothing but the sound waves or the voice signals, whatever we are giving, that will be sent by means of a transmitter. So the transmitter is the microphone where the sound waves are converted to electrical energy, and it is transmitted by means of the transmitting wires or any means of your communication medium. Okay, the receiver is nothing but the speaker. The speaker is used to convert the transmitted electrical energy back to the sound energy. And ringer is nothing but the mode of communication, whatever we are getting by ringtones or whistles or bells or horns, or these are your ringer. Okay, and then we are having a control unit. The control unit is nothing but a push button or a rotary dial. You know, in some telephones and all, you will be seeing a hook which is present in it. So when we take the hook, then only we will be getting a dialing tone through which we can just click the numbers for the communication person whom we want to get communicated with. Okay, and then we are having a switch hook. Switch hook is nothing but the signal the phone company and caller will be having it. So to know whether the phone is either in the ideal mode or it is in a using mode. That is, ideal means you will not be having any dial tone, and if suppose the other person is having communication means you will be getting a busy tone. So that is what the switch hook represents. So transmission is an analog signal. The frequency ranges for the telephonic medium will be from 300 hertz to 3400 hertz. So this is the basic telephonic transceiver diagram, and here the second diagram we are having a basic telephone system diagram. Okay, that twisted pair what is being given is a cable medium what we are using for the communication. So here we are having two communication, that is one phone to phone communication we are having. A is one phone and B is another phone, in which the communication is taking place by means of the twisted pair medium. And commonly we will be having a telephone exchanges. So that is represented by means of a local exchange or central office. Next one, coming to the explanation of your telephone system, we are having a basic telephone or a telephone set which is based on which is having an analog baseband transceiver. It consists of the following things, whatever we have discussed earlier. A ringer, it is either a bell or a electronic oscillator connected to a speaker. A switch hook, which is represented by a double pole mechanical switch that is usually controlled by means of the control medium, which is activated by the telephone headset. You can see the dial pressing. So if suppose any engaged tone or anything will be we will be getting, just cut the call. Okay, that is called as a switch hook. And the dialing circuits that provide a way for entering the telephone to be the using, that is DTMS is nothing but the dual tone multi-frequency system. Then the handset. The handset contains a microphone for transmitting and receiving the section. And then the hertz, whatever we are using here, will be the combination of 350 hertz and 440 hertz for a sine wave for a telephonic system. Okay, this is the theoretical explanation of the telephonic system, basic telephone system. So each and every part is being given here elaborately. The receiver mode provides an incoming signal that rings a bell or produces an audio tone indicating that a call is being received. A signal to the telephone system indicating that the signal has been answered. The transducer is used to convert a voice signal, that is a non-electrical quantity, to an electrical quantity. That is the main job of a transducer. So here the transducer converts the voice signal to an electrical signal and electrical signal to a voice signal back. Okay, and then in the transmit mode we have a indicate to the phone system that a call to be made to which handset it is going to get lifted. Then indicates that the telephone system is ready to use by generating a signal called the dial tone. Then it provides a way of transmitting the telephone number to be called to the telephone system. Receives an indication that the call is being made or received by means of a ringing tone, which provides a means of receiving a special tone indicating that the call line is busy. It provides a mean of signaling the telephone system that the call is complete. That is, whenever we lift the telephone, we will be getting a dial tone. So that dial tone indicates that the opponent person's line is busy or idle. Okay, by means of pressing the dial tone, that is by means of pressing the key, we will be reaching to the receiver end. Okay, if suppose we are getting a dial tone there, it will be known that the other side line is free. If we are getting a engaged tone, the other line is busy. So that is what is being indicated by means of the transmit mode and your receiver mode. So this explanation has been already seen. So what is ringer, what is switch hook, and what is dialing circuit. And again, we have seen about your handset and your hybrid. Everything here, it is being operated by means of a built-in microcontroller. So this entire microcontroller and microprocessor working, we will be seeing it in the next semester. So every, like your system will be having a small microcontroller unit, the same process only will be taking place in your telephone. The importance is the telephone is an indispensable instrument over the world. This telephone makes the world smaller and brings people closer together by increasing loneliness and building new communities. The invention of the telephone also increases privacy in many ways. It allows people to exchange information without writing. Moreover, telephone helps people to connect very fast regardless to their distance. Now, next topic is the television system. Coming to the television system, here John Braid is generally regarded as the father of television. In 1936, British Broadcasting Corporation, that is the BBC of Britain, began the first television service of the world. In 1939, what happened? The television broadcast began in US. That it started elaborating all over the world. In 1950s, other countries began the television broadcasting and on a wide scale. In 1953, the first successful program in color was transmitted by CBS in USA. In 1959, television started in India as an experiment. 1976, Doordarshan, which was airs television arm, became a separate department, and again it started. In 1982, coverage of 9th Asian Games, everything that is coverage in live coverage has started taking place. And this is the history of television, how it evolved. Television is used for seeing from a long distances, and earlier we have used a selenium photosensitive cells used for converting light from the picture to the electrical signals. Then the second invention has been started by means of using a CRT. CRT is nothing but the cathode ray tube, which already you have studied in your electronic devices. The bandwidth, frequency and coverage of the television system is, the bandwidth is around 7 megahertz, and in America it is 6 megahertz, British it is 8 megahertz, France it is 14 megahertz, India it is 6 megahertz. And frequency band started in VHF, that is very high frequency band, 41 to 68 megahertz and 174 to 230 megahertz. Later added your ultra high frequency UHF band, that is 470 to 890 megahertz. The coverage is limited to line of sight distances from 75 to 140 kilometers, and it can be extended by relay stations and satellites. The fundamental aim is that in order to sense or extend the sight of beyond the natural limits, it is being associated. The picture is generated by a TV camera, and the sound signal is by means of the microphone it is being generated. The picture signal is amplitude modulated and sound signal is frequency modulated. So when we are going for the television system, we are using a amplitude modulated signal and a frequency modulated signal. So the amplitude modulated signal, the picture signal, what we are getting is by means of the amplitude modulated signal, and the sound signal what we are getting is by means of the frequency modulated signal. So we know what is amplitude modulated signal and frequency modulated signal. The carrier frequencies are suitably spaced and modulated outputs are radiated through the TV antennas. Transmitting antennas, it is being radiated. The TV receiver has tuned the circuits. Earlier we have a tuner which is used for tuning the band limits for particular channel what we are been watching. Okay, the TV receiver has tuned circuits in its input section called tuner. It selects the signals out from many packs by the antenna. So by means of your VHF band and UHF band, we started tuning the signals, and so to the particular range of those frequencies, we will be getting the signals. Okay, the picture transmission, what is being taking place here is, the picture information is in an optical in character. So it's optical in character means that which is used for having a larger number of brightnesses and so and so. Okay, you're representing the picture element with the infinite number of pieces simultaneously. The information is a function of two variables, that is the time and space. Instead of using infinite number of channels simultaneously, we use scanning, that is tuning. So black and white camera, this is the pictorial representation. So how it is being taking place. So light signal is being passed through the lens. Okay, and we have a glass plate which is the lens will be reflecting the images to the photoconductive surfaces, and that will hit your electron beam, and you will be getting the picture. Okay, TV camera. TV camera is nothing but the heart of the TV camera is the camera tube or picture tube. Generally, we call it as a picture tube. It converts the optical information into an electrical signal, and then it will be transmitted by means of the amplitude. Okay, the amplitude is proportional to the brightness. So as your amplitude increases, brightness increases. So the amplitude is proportional to the brightness. Optical images is focused by a lens assembly on a rectangular grid. Okay, and here this is nothing but a same representation like your CRT, which has been already explained. Okay, and then we are having a thin layer of photoconductive material having a high resistance with no light fall on it. The photoconductive material is used for high resistance components in which there is no light will be falling on it. The resistance decreases when the intensity increases, which means that the resistance is inversely proportional to the intensity. The electron beam is used to pick the information of the picture available on the target place in terms of varying resistance. By means of varying the resistance, what happens is the electron beam will be picking out the picture. The beam is formed by an electron gun, so that it is deflected by a pair of deflection coils. It is kept mutually perpendicular on the glass plate to achieve the scanning of the entire target area. Next one, it encounters the different resistance across the target places. The results in a flow of current which varies the magnitude during the scanning. So as the current passes through the load resistance, what varying the voltage, it appears across the picture tube. Okay, very high scanning rate is nothing but in order to improve the possibility of your viewing perception of the image, it is being used. We get the information through the scene. Scanning converts the information existing in space and time coordinates into the time variation only. Okay, so this is the part of the scanning beam in covering picture area. So how it is varying is being given in the diagram. The video signal is amplitude modulated. Therefore, by varying the amplitude, we will be getting the better picture quality. So the scanning is done, which is used for converting the optical informations into an electrical signals or electrically transmitting signals, and then the deflection coils are fed separately, and then we use a magnetic deflection over here. The deflection by the first coil is done by means of the horizontal motion of the beam, that is from left to right. Always the transmission takes place here in the television system, will be taking place from left to right, and then it brings quickly to the left side to commence the traces of the next line. So once that band has been done, again it starts from the first point, that is from the left to the right. The deflection by the second coil is by the vertical motion T to B, and it is quick retrace back to the top to start the process. Now coming to the transmitting section and the receiving section, which is taking place. Okay, here you are having a light signal which is being passed to your television camera, and then we are having a voice signal which is being given by means of the microphone. So here both the signals So coming back to the television system, again we are having a light signal and a microphone. So the light signal which is used for bringing the picture, and the microphone which is used for bringing the voice. Okay, that light signal is being given to your television camera, and the voice signal is being given to the audio amplifier. The television camera is the amplitude modulated signal, and that light signal will be given to the video amplifier. So by means of the amplitude modulated, it is being generated. You will be having the amplitude modulated output, so which is being given to your power amplifier. Simultaneously, the voice signal is given to your audio amplifier. It amplifies the audio signal, and I have told the amplitude signal is your frequency modulated signal. So the by means of the frequency, the voice range gets modulated, and then it is being sent to your frequency modulated sound transmitter section, and it is being sent to the combining network. Similarly, here the amplitude modulated amplifier, whatever, it will be sent to the power amplifier. And in order to boost up the signal, we are using a crystal oscillator, which acts as a carrier signal that is being given to your RF amplifier, and then that it will be amplified over there. That radio frequency signal gets amplified in your RF amplifier. That amplified signal will be given to your power signal back. So the amplitude modulated signal and the carrier signal get combined over there, and it will be sent to, will be getting an amplitude modulated signal. So that signal and a frequency modulated signal will be combined in your combining network, and that is transmitted through the transmitter antenna. So in your transmitted antenna, we will be having a picture quality as well as the sound which is being generated. So that explanation is side by side given. And in the receiving section, so in the receiving section, we will be having a loudspeaker and a picture tube. So we have to get the picture quality back and the voice quality. So for that, we are using a loudspeaker as well as a picture tube in your television system. So in the receiving antenna, we will be having the received signal. So those received signal by means of your RF tuner, that is your radio frequency tuner, it gets tuned, and we'll be having a number of IF amplifier stages. So this IF amplifier stages in your frequency, in your second unit, in your third unit, frequency modulated and demodulation, we have seen clearly. Therefore, we will be having n number of IF stages in order to improve the frequency. Okay, by means of the IF amplifiers, it will be it will be improved, and you will be having the video detector in order to get your videos back. So that video detector is being given to your sound IF amplifier. This is one stage of IF amplifier, and then FM sound demodulator. Therefore, in your transmitter section, we have used the frequency modulator, and in your receiver section, we are using a frequency demodulator. Okay, and sound IF amplifier, we are it is been, that amplified signal is being given to your FM sound demodulator. Then it is being sent to your amplifier, audio amplifier, and output is being received by means of your loudspeaker. Coming to the picture tube, here we are sending that video detector is being sent to your video amplifier, and then that scanning process will be taking place. That synchronization, we have to synchronize the picture, so that synchronization will be taking place in the scanning and synchronizing circuits that will be combined in your picture tube, and will be having that live output in your picture tube. Okay, so this is the operation which is taking place in your receiver end. Now coming to the elements of the picture tube. So these are the common elements of your picture tube. What we are having, we'll be having a base, a heater, a cathode, a control grid, then an electron gun, deflection coil, then focusing anode, then the screen. So that screen is the process where we are able to watch the movies, and that is being given by means of a phosphor coating. Okay, so that explanation side by side, already I have told the same explanation is being given in the diagram, and that is being explained simultaneously here. Coming to your CCTV. So your CCTV is generally used for the security purposes in many malls and hospitals, railway stations, everywhere, wherever we go in personal homes also we are using CCTV. CCTV is nothing but a closed circuit television system. Okay, it is used for by means of the videos. Okay, using video cameras to transmit video information as a signal to a specific space or a specific place or a limited space. We are using monitors to view the CCTV. Okay, and in different it differs from broadcast television in a signal that is not openly transmitted through a point to point. Here we will be using a point to multi-point or wireless link. Okay, what are the basic elements of a CCTV? If we see means you will be having a camera, lens, monitoring unit, then DVR, so the recording unit, then cable by means of which the transmission takes place, and then the storage device with the power supply, which is a common thing which is used for your CCTV. Okay, it is broadly divided into two types. The first one is your wired CCTV system. and second one is your wireless CCTV system. So what is your wired CCTV system is nothing but it connects the camera to the recording device and monitor with the help of the coaxial cables or fiber cables, fiber optic cables. The signal is transmitted over these cables and is then fed to the monitor. Okay, so this is your wired CCTV system. Then coming to your wireless CCTV system, in this system, a radio transmitter is attached to the camera, a radio receiver is attached then to monitor to the input side. Okay, so this is your CCTV operation, what is being given. So generally we are having two types, one is your wired CCTV and second one is your wireless CCTV. Here we are using what are the simple CCTV systems. Then CCTVs are being installed everywhere for the purpose of securities and in order to avoid the crime prevention and detection. Okay, so what will be the camera types are that we are having a indoor cameras, outdoor cameras, night camera, zoom camera and bullet cameras. Okay, what is your indoor camera? It is nothing by means of the indoor security mechanism which is suitable for indoor security mechanism that is suitable for securities in homes, schools, office, hotels, etc. Then coming to your outdoor camera, it is your hard shell vandal proof casing, mostly used for the entry and exit purposes. And then we are having a night camera that is used for high alert purpose and that is mainly used for the surveillances, and doom cameras which can be rotated and tilted side by side. You can see the diagrams of each and every camera. Bullet camera that is a tapered shape similar to that of a rifle bullet installed inside the protective casing which protects against dust, dirt, rain, so and so. Then we are having pan tilt and zoom camera, that is your PTZ cameras, movable from right to left, up and down, and from tight angle to a wide angle by remote control. What are the factors needed to be considering when using a cameras is that you will be having an indoor or outdoor unit and surveillance, lens selection, cameras for various applications, then power sources. These are the main things what is being required for your cameras. Okay. This is the basic diagrams what is being used by means of connecting a CCTV. Application of CCTV system, you have a cash room, gaming machine, historic sites, holiday sites, hospitals, number plate recording, public spaces, then bars, schools, shops, football and cricket stadiums, then car parking, theft, staff theft and fraud, then swimming pools. Everywhere we are using a CCTV system. Next one is your cable television operation. Your cable television is nothing but community access television or community antenna television. Okay, it is by means of delivering the television program, we will be using a cable television. Okay, by means of delivering the television programming for paying the subscribers via the radio frequency signal that is transmitted through the coaxial cables or light pulses through the fiber optic cables. This contrasts with the broadcast televisions in which the television signal is transmitted over by the radio waves and received by the television antennas. that antennas are high speed, then FM radio programming, high speed internet, telephone services, and similar non-television services may also used for providing the cables. Then here we are having the diagram for modern hybrid fiber coaxial is been given in the side by side slide. We are using a cable television system, and then what is the operation taking place here is at the regional head end of the TV channel that is being multiplexed on a light beam which travels through the optical fiber trunk lines which fan out through the distribution hubs, which is nothing but we will be having a common common disk which is being produced over here, and by me the signals will be transmitted there by means of the cables or by means of the fiber cables or hybrid fiber cable, coaxial cables. It will be connected to the other houses by means of the hubs and distribution hubs, and therefore we will be able to watch the television by means of cable television. Here the light signal is transmitted from the fiber and is translated to a radio frequency electrical signal which is distributed through coaxial cables through the individual subscriber homes. This is the elaboration of your cable TV operation. What is the frequency what we are using and what are the channels we are using, that is downstream channels and upstream channels which occupies various frequencies. Then coaxial cables which is done by means of your frequency division multiplexing. Then the signals are getting encrypted over here. Dish antennas and satellites, that is already this diagram represents a clear view of your cable TV operation. We will be having a head end, and then through the transport ring what are the present thing is we are having a distribution hubs. So these distribution hubs are nothing but those distribution hubs will be giving this cable TV operation to the other subscribers, that is to various homes. And you can see in the diagram you will be having the optical nodes which is being served to the homes, and how this operation is taking place by means of a trunk RF amplifier. It is the signals are getting transmitted through the various the hubs. Okay, so that is all about your cable television operation. Everything has been what is we are seeing in a day-to-day life, and the operation of that is everything here by through the communication